Thank you all for being here tonight. My name is Ed Schreiner with the Energy Department, and I'll be discussing the 2025 existing single-family buildings REACH code tonight and giving you background on what the proposed REACH code is. Just a few logistics here. Also with me on the call is Farhad Farmand. He's a consultant for us, and he can help answer any questions that may be a little more technical than I can handle. Just FYI, I'm going to go ahead and plow through the webinar, and there will be time for questions and answers at the end of the meeting, as well as just general feedback. There is a Q&A function in the webinar. You can feel free to ask any questions that occur to you whenever you like. And either we'll try to get to them at the end of the meeting, or if one of my colleagues is able to answer them while I am doing the presentation, they can go ahead and do that. I will probably not be able to see the questions until we get to that portion of the presentation. So again, thank you for being here tonight, and let's try to go ahead and get this queued up, and we'll get started here. Presentation probably shouldn't be any longer than about 15 to 20 minutes, so should be plenty of time to answer any questions. So just a little background on what's a REACH code and what the building standards and REACH are. So to start off with, we'll talk about what the state building codes are, and these are two things that we look at: the California Building Energy Efficiency Standards and the California Green Building Standards, or Cal Green. These standards are set by the California Energy Commission. They're aimed to increase energy conservation and reduce energy costs in buildings, and these are adopted every 3 years. So the last, or what I guess I should say, the current code cycle that we are in is the 2022 code, which became effective on January 1st, 2023. As of January 1st of 2026, the 2025 Cal Green and Building Energy Efficiency Standards will be going into effect. So what building REACH codes are is they have the opportunity for local jurisdictions to increase building code requirements above what the current state standards are. San Jose has adopted a REACH code since 2019. So we had REACH codes for the last 2 building code cycles. The previous 2 REACH codes that we adopted did only apply to new construction. So basically, a building that was being built brand new. In the 2025 code, the construction standards have pretty much caught up with our previous REACH code, and we are not looking to, at this time, adopt any more REACH codes on new construction. However, at this point, in order to move forward, we're looking at a REACH code on existing single-family residential. While these REACH codes can be theoretically adopted at any time, we are trying to adopt it so they to align with the updated building code. So we want to try to get this REACH code in effect at the same time the new 2025 codes go into effect, which will be January 1st, 2026. In addition, there was a new state law recently adopted that limits residential REACH codes from being adopted starting October 1st of 2025 and extending all the way through January 1st of 2031 with certain exceptions. So a quick overview of our proposed REACH code. Again, it only pertains to single-family existing buildings. So when I say single family, that's basically your standard detached single family residence, but it also includes duplexes and townhomes as well. And the ordinance includes two distinct requirements. One is the AC to heat pump, and the second is the electric ready. The AC to heat pump requires owners, when they are installing air conditioning uh, or space cooling, to either install a heat pump or an air conditioner with additional efficiency measures. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a few slides. The second portion of the REACH code is what's called electric ready. And this is targeted to permit applicants that are completing a relevant addition or alteration. So if there's some other work going on in the residence, and this requires electric readiness for any gas appliances. So essentially that means additional circuits to the plugs or a reserve conduit connecting to the panel. And again, this is only electric readiness. It does not require for an electric appliance to be installed. It just ensures that electric appliance may be installed in the future if the owner so chooses. All right, so a little more on the AC to heat pump component. Again, there's essentially two pathways to meeting this requirement. Pathway one would be to install a heat pump HVAC system, which includes both cooling and heating, and simply meet the state code standards. The second pathway would be to install a standard air conditioner alongside the existing gas furnace and to make other energy efficiency improvements above the state standards. And three examples of what this could be would be: one would be increased fan efficiency, two would be increased insulation in the ducts, or three would be increased insulation in the attic. There are some exceptions to this requirement, such as when it's an older home that may have knob and tube wiring. If the installation of a heat pump will trigger a electric panel upgrade that a standard air conditioner would not, there's an exception to this. And then in addition, if there's inaccessible attics or ducts for the insulation, or if any of this work would result in asbestos disturbance or create some other kind of hazardous situation, that would be an exception as well. So for the heat pump, the incremental upfront cost is expected to be roughly $650 to $1,700 for an average installation, depending on the efficiency of the model being installed. That's compared to just installing a standard air conditioner. When the second pathway to add the additional energy efficiency requirements could be between $600 to $7,500 based on the configuration of the home and the scope of the work being done. And it is worth noting that both these pathways are found to be cost effective in that compared to the base code, they actually save the over time or over the life of the project, they will essentially, I guess, save the property owner money through their energy bill or through other positive impacts. It's also important to note there are currently a number of options out there to assist people who are looking to install heat pump HVAC systems. San Jose Clean Energy has the Eco Home rebate, which provides $2,500 to $3,500 rebate to any San Jose Clean Energy customer who replaces their gas furnace with a heat pump. And currently that's funded through June of next year, but we are pretty confident that that program will continue past that point. In addition, there's a couple state programs that are currently in effect, and as far as we know, these are both funded, but we can't say at what point their funding may or may not run out. And lastly, there is the San Jose Clean Energy Eco Home Payment Plan. Not a rebate, but what it is a zero interest loan up to $5,000 that can be repaid on bill on a monthly basis, up to $5,000 again. So essentially, with all these potential incentives, this easily covers any estimated incremental upfront cost. And a study that's been done in the general San Francisco Bay Area shows that right off the bat, the installation of a heat pump will result in bill savings, roughly $250 to $500 per year, based on, again, like varying depending on the efficiency of the unit. So going to a little more depth on the electric ready component of the REACH code. Again, this is triggered when doing an alteration or addition within 3 feet of an existing gas appliance or including a new gas appliance. And again, it would require some electrical infrastructure to be installed, either an additional circuit that would allow a plug to be upgraded from a 120 to a 240 volt, or a root conduit connecting the appliance to the panel. And this ranges from $150 to $1,000 per appliance. And it is worth mentioning that, again, this is only triggered when additional work is being proposed, like a remodel or addition. So at that time, walls may be already open. It's kind of the most effective time to do this, rather than having to go in and do this later as a retrofit, where it would cost more again and more demolition would be required. And again, a pure straight up appliance replacement with no other work done would not trigger this electric ready requirement. Additional exceptions would be if no electric permit is otherwise required for the project, the electric ready requirement wouldn't be triggered. If a result of this creates a situation where the electrical service or the panel needs to be upgraded, it would be exempt. And also if the additions or alterations being made are solely the result of repairs and or safety improvements, this again would not be triggered. And a couple building types, attached ADUs and mobile homes and other pre-manufactured housing, are also exempt from this requirement. So just a little background on why we're doing this REACH code. There are Bay Area Air District rules based on air quality that are going to go in effect in 2029 that will significantly prohibit the sale of gas furnaces throughout the San Francisco Bay Area. So we see this as an opportunity to get San Jose queued up for this and get our residents ready for this to happen. It's also worth noting that the city does have a goal of becoming carbon neutral by 2030. Our existing building stock currently generates 1/3 of the city's greenhouse gas emissions. And of that building stock, that includes 185,000 single-family homes and duplexes, where the majority of San Jose residents live. So this REACH code will help address that. And it's worth noting that heat pumps represent a 22 to 40% reduction in emissions compared to a gas furnace and air conditioner. Again, as noted before, this is cost effective for residents for both life cycle and day one utility bill cost savings with the heat pump HVAC. There's the available financial assistance. And it's also worth noting that this is a time sensitive effort. As I mentioned before, AB 130 limits new REACH codes from being adopted for residential uses beginning October 1st of this year and extending all the way through June of 2031. Currently, this is scheduled for City Council on September 9th, 2025. And as I mentioned before, to try to reduce confusion and building professional complexity, we are aiming to align this with the January 1st, 2026 effective date of the state codes. Just would like to thank all of you for attending tonight and giving us your feedback. We encourage you to stay in the loop on this. Again, I mentioned the REACH code will be going to City Council on September 9th. And if you registered for this presentation, we should be emailing you out information with a link to the presentation or the slide deck. So again, thank you for being here tonight. And I will give you another 20 minutes back of your life. Have a great night all.